Hello, it's Martin, charging up my new electric company car down in Devon, specifically in Buckfastleigh. Can you tell which one it is? It is indeed a bit of a rhetorical question because yes, I'm the only one here. This is an absolutely amazing Osprey site. I've already covered it on the channel. It's right by the Strawberry Fields farm shop, so I will leave that linked in the top right hand corner. But yes, this IONIQ 5 is my new company car. Let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, it's not an ID.3. The ID.3 in fact has already sold to a lovely couple and I believe they are really enjoying it. And yes, I promised some more ID.3 content, and don't you worry, that's definitely coming in the future. It just needs a little bit of time and effort from my side to execute. The second question may be, why an IONIQ 5? Well, I would like to think I learned a lot about the VW MEB platform, so it's time to expand my mind and try something different. And this year I want to do a lot of road trips. So the eGMP platform sounds like the perfect candidate. And when I was given the details of this particular example, I was like, yes, I do want some of that because it's absolutely stunning. It's basically fully loaded. With IONIQ 5s, you have to keep the age in mind because the specification has changed a little bit throughout the years, but this is a 2022 car. So it has the long-range battery, which is 73 kilowatt hours in capacity. That's still plenty fine. Obviously, being the ultimate, it has those big 20-inch wheels and this optional matte paint. It's a very sensitive topic because you can't really polish it, but this one is in lovely condition. And if you look inside, you will be able to spot that it has those relaxation seats, which means it also has the tech package. It's also the H-track, which means dual motor all-wheel drive. You can't really refuse the extra performance. And crucially, for these older IONIQ 5s, it also has the Eco package, which includes a heat pump for cabin heating and a high voltage battery heater. This particular car already had a software update which enables battery preconditioning for DC rapid charging, and that's what I've done to get to this station. I plugged in about 20-25 minutes ago, and despite only having traveled about 15 miles to get here, so the battery didn't have much of a chance to warm up, when I plugged in I got about 120-ish kilowatts. I'm already up to 90% state of charge, so that's definitely impressive. If I fire up the vehicle, we can check the energy consumption of the previous owner, and that's not too bad at 3.0 miles per kilowatt hour. So time to officially reset that and start tracking our data. To be fair, the range looks like I could make it almost all the way to London, but it's 3 p.m. and I still haven't had lunch. So let me plan out my next stop. And let me actually try to do this live, because I remember the search in these built-in Hyundai sat-navs is not the best. So on this route there's only one stop I can go to, and that's Mollie's Diner. There are multiple ones. Let's see, will it manage to find that point of interest? Yes, and I indeed want to go to the one at Bristol. That looks correct on the map. And it knows that there are some chargers as well, but they appear to be unknown. BP pools. Where are the GridServe ones? GridServe. That's it. That's the ones I like. It says the availability, so that's good. Let's set that as the destination. It reckons I will arrive with 37% in the battery, so definitely time to get going. It's a shame you still have a traditional start-stop button. I now got spoiled by the ID.3 where you just jump in and can get going, but it's basically exactly 3 p.m. ready to depart. Joining the Devon Expressway at 70 miles per hour, I will be driving properly, in proper comfort as well. I've got the heating set to 21 degrees Celsius, no hypermiling here. I will turn on the adaptive cruise and all of the assistance stuff set to 70 miles per hour. I can let it do the steering as well, and I will just sit back and relax in here, and I will also observe what's happening with the drivetrain. I'm in the default normal mode, and if we switch over to this information screen, you see that the car is using predominantly the rear motor, acting essentially like the rear-wheel drive IONIQ 5 to just cruise at these steady speeds. However, if I were to just give it a little blip, it engages the front immediately as well. And in fact, there is a lot to explore, and I think I will make a dedicated video on the whole driving experience of these eGMP cars, because there is a lot. You have got obviously different driving modes, which also affect how the drivetrain behaves. For example, in eco mode, the car is pretty much always just forced into rear-wheel drive. But for now, I've got plenty of range, I will go back into normal. You can also adjust the regen strength using the paddle shifters, but that sometimes engages different motors in different scenarios and different mode combinations. So yeah, lots to explore, especially if you care about getting the maximum efficiency out of your vehicle. But that's not what I care about today. I care about comfort and enjoyment. So yeah, not drafting behind lorries, doing 70 miles per hour. I still have obviously a lot of the settings to customize. I've already paired it to my app and removed the previous owner's details. But with these cars, you can spend half a day in your driveway customizing all the settings to your preferences. But given I'm fairly well settled in, I will just sit back, maybe adjust the seat a little bit into a more relaxed position and enjoy the drive through this stunning countryside. And now that the Devon Expressway has officially turned into a motorway, the M5, I've got full HDA, the Highway Driving Assist, available. This being the pre-COVID spec car, it has full HDA 2.0. So if I show you in this driving assistant view, you can see that it's detecting the vehicle ahead, but also the vehicles in the adjacent lanes, and it can perform automated lane changes. I've been cruising at 72 miles per hour indicated. Don't you worry, I'm not speeding. That's basically 70 miles per hour GPS. But if I set my target speed to exactly 70, that speed will go green as well, and now the car will dictate what the set speed is based on what it deems is the speed limit on any given road. It also seems to be performing a lot smoother on these sweeping curves and in wider lanes. So now let's indicate left. It shows me that lane is available, and it just did that fully on its own. I also get some of the info from the instrument cluster right in my line of sight in the heads-up display. Specifically impressive is the augmented reality section, which is showing me exactly which vehicle the adaptive cruise control is tracking. More on these gadgets in future videos, but feel free to let me know in the comments what in particular you're interested in, so I can make some content which happens to answer your questions. The sun has come out, but the efficiency still is not the best. At the end of the day, this is a little bit of a brick on wheels. It settled at just below 3 miles per kilowatt hour, but having said that, I checked the weather forecast and we are driving directly into about a 12 mile per hour headwind coming from the north. However, I will still have plenty of charge when we get to Mollie. But what if you were a little bit more concerned and you really wanted to make sure that the charger is available? Well, the built-in Hyundai system has a very nifty feature. You can activate split screen by clicking this tab, and in the EV charging stations tab, you just have to swap into the destination charging station, and in there you can see your current state of charge and also how many connectors are available. So in this case, there are 5 CCS plugs and 3 of those are currently available. And to give you confidence that they are actually working, it shows you that a couple of them were used just a few minutes ago. Ooh, a very nice Taycan Cross Turismo on our right. But yeah, I'm cancelling all of the driving assistant stuff. You can do the steering and the cruise control separately, and we are exiting here. I can obviously see that also in the heads-up display. Lovely, here we are on the left. The 360 camera comes in handy, and let's plug in. It's not like I need to, I still have 51%, but you know, I'm gonna be stopped for half an hour anyways. The car might as well get recharged. Powered charge port, so let's get that open. And with these GridServe chargers, even though they are Mollie's branded, they are GridServe, you can use contactless payment. Power has ramped up to over 100 kilowatts at 51%, so that's pretty good considering we are at a high state of charge. And I think all of these chargers are actually officially rated only for 100 kilowatts, but I would assume that's for lower voltage cars. I love Mollie's simple but very elegant and well done food. and drinks. So what I'm trying to say is that I've been fed, and in fact the IONIQ already reached 100%. I was following along on the phone app and I got a notification saying it's fully charged, so we are definitely ready to go. And to set up, I'm not yet sure exactly where I will park the vehicle tonight. Let's just navigate to Wisely Automotive. Perfect, 48 Weymouth Road, that's our old showroom. That's close enough to where I am going. Set as destination, and let's see, the car reckons it's 123 miles and I will get there with 34%. Unfortunately, I will have to battle through central London, but that means there's no need to charge again, so let's just fold this panel away and let's get going. Lovely, so HDA on and more of the same. But actually I think I will turn on my heated seat at least level 1, because the sun is setting quickly and you can definitely feel that we are still in March, because where is the temperature in this car? Oh, there. It's 9 degrees Celsius outside. And now as I switched to motorways, the lane change assist is available again. Not that it makes much of a difference, because I fear, given it's just after 5 p.m, it will be a lot of dense traffic. But at least the car can do the majority of the driving for me now. I'm just a few miles from Reading services. No, the car doesn't need to charge. My bladder needs emptying. But I thought this would be a good example of what kind of efficiency you can expect at solid motorway speeds, because it has been pretty clear going so far. I've covered 71.2 miles in 1 hour and 6 minutes. I'm afraid this is too much mental math for me to do in the moment, so I will put what the average speed was down at the bottom of the screen. But shock surprise, the efficiency is still 3 miles per kilowatt hour. So realistically, I think for this car on longer journeys, that's the number we can count with. Okay, bladder at 0% now, and if you think I'm cheating, the car wasn't plugged in, still at 68% state of charge, but there's plenty of availability if you needed to top up. So there's the new GridServe chargers, which have been recently expanded in the back of the services. Remember, this is eastbound. And then there are also a couple of the old legacy GridServe units just by the entrance. Oh, and according to the map, it seems like there are also some BP Pulse chargers at the actual BP petrol station. I ended up changing my route to avoid the heavy traffic in central London in the evening, so I jumped on the M25, which yes, results in longer track miles and in turn a lower state of charge on arrival. Looking at efficiency, on the last leg, thanks to the lower average speed, I achieved 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Looking back, Bristol to London was a little bit lower at 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour, and the overall total efficiency settled at 3.1. So if you do the math, that translates to about 210 to 220 miles from a full charge, which yes, even by electric car standards, is not the longest range out there. There are many other competitors in the same class at a similar price point which do offer more. However, the IONIQ 5 really makes up for it with absolutely stunning charging performance. That's something I want to see more of in practice. Looking beyond the electric car stuff, there are many other aspects which make a vehicle suitable or not suitable for long road trips. With this ultimate IONIQ 5, I absolutely love the seats. They are very comfortable. You've got double pane glass front and back, and combined with the fact that we've got traditional framed doors, the refinement in here is really good. It feels like a properly high-end vehicle. The same goes for the fact that we have got a relatively normal sized car on the outside, but a huge 3-meter long wheelbase, which gives it a certain waft and sophistication when you are traveling at higher speeds. The software seems to have come a long way as well. Back in the day it was a little bit rudimentary and you had to do most of the route planning yourself. There was no battery preconditioning, but this has all been sorted over the years. So again, one of the other things I want to see in practice, but based on the initial experience, it seems to be working really well. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more EV adventures, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.